Leonie Dawson, refuses to be categorized, the podcast. My friends, oh, my loves, today's going to be a little bit different because my beloved Maddie, darling friend and co-host, is currently in America having the time of her freaking life, and I miss her desperately. And so I've created some workshops to share with you that I think you would find really fucking useful. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's not going to include adorable little Maddie and our musical intros, but I hope this will suffice in the interim. In the meantime, here's this thing. Hello, friends. Welcome, my friends. Today, we're going to be doing a free workshop on how to sell from the heart. And this is specifically for you if, you have a business that you want to share about, but you might have some fears about how, you want to do it with integrity. You want to do it with heart. You don't want to feel scammy or spammy while doing it. You want to do good in the world while having a business. So this workshop is for you. So if you haven't learned from me before, I am somebody who is an artist, a teacher, a writer. I have autism and ADHD. I am a mama of two, and I live and work and create on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi people. And I want to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I've won a big stack of business awards, including Osmumpreneur's People's Choice Business Coach Award. I've won that twice now. Businesses Making a Difference Award, Global Brand Award. I've been finalist for My Business's Businesswoman of the Year Award here in Australia, and finalist for Small Business Champion Award as well. My goals workbooks have been used by over 500,000 people worldwide, which is just so glorious. I just wanted to create something that was fun and creative and delicious in order to set my own goals in life and business. And once I finished making them and illustrating them, I was like, this is really cute. If I could share this, and if, 10 other people wanted to join me, that would be so fun. And it's such a blessing that over 500,000 people have joined me. So what fun to get to make goals in a way that really resonates with my creative heart. I have created not just 13 million, over $14 million in just 10 hours a week now. I need to update this graphic. But we ticked over to 14 million, which is such a huge, miraculous blessing. I had no clue whatsoever that is where this business would take me. I didn't set out to create something that brought in multi-millions. I just wanted enough to be able to survive and to be able to be present with my kids. And along the way, I got to learn so many business and marketing lessons, and that encouraged me to expand and get bigger. And it also meant that I really had to think about the people who could be blessed by my work and how I could reach out and find them and help them find my work if that was something that would be of service to them. Oh, yay! I updated it. I completely forgot. I did the slide deck last week. I forgot that I did a beautiful little update graphic that looks horrific. I did that horrific update because usually my assistant Zeta joins me. And I thought she would find that particularly tragic. Today, I am beautifully joined by my friend Tam instead, as Zeta refuses to get up at this goblin hour. So thank you for joining me, Tam.
Hi.
Hi, my queen. I love you so.
Love you. Keep going.
So that's just a fun way. So when people look at $14 million in 10 hours a week, the question is always how the fuck did you do that? And for me, I really had to learn how to get out of my own way and sell and do it with integrity and do it with heart and still be all of myself, but really learn how to really clearly communicate what I did and how it helped other people. Taking the time to spend energy and heart in really refining my communication around the things that I offered so that the people who needed my work, they could find my work and they go, oh, this is what it's about. This is how it's going to help me. And this is how I can know that I can trust this person, that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. So when it comes to sales and learning how to sell, like the questions and the fears that come up, there's so many of them. And if you want to share in the comments which ones you feel like really affect you. So you might have the fear of like, but sales feels really slimy and I don't want to take people's money. I don't want to feel like a used car salesperson. I only want to do my gift. I shouldn't have to market it. I'm not greedy. I'm not good at marketing. People will get sick of me. Word of mouth should be enough. And selling isn't spiritual. So what out of those big fears comes up for you when it comes to selling? And I'll check in with the comments now and see what people are saying. Diane says that people will get sick of me. Yeah, of course. I think it's a really normal concern for people to have. Janet says, I do feel like the used car salesperson. Vanessa says, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but I clearly have a fear of taking people's money. It's so crazy, and I had no idea. Yeah, I think that's a really common feeling. Cassandra says that my product isn't worth it. Caroline says, I don't want to bother people, and I also have a hard time believing in my product, even though I've gotten nothing but rave reviews. See, so many people have these concerns, and we have to, when we look at the research, we know that imposter syndrome is disproportionately felt by different members of the community depending on their privilege. And this is shocking, right? Imposter syndrome is, if you are a woman, you are more likely to feel it than a man. If you are Black, Indigenous, or a person of color, you are more likely to feel it. If you are a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, you are more likely to experience imposter syndrome. So that right there shows us that imposter syndrome is actually, it's a part of the patriarchy. It's a part of systems of oppression that prevent some members of society from being able to access power and income. So I say that because I think it's so, when you get to actually speak that kind of like statistics and truth to imposter syndrome, all of a sudden, like for me, I feel indignation bubble up. And I feel angry, like I'm not going to, if imposter syndrome affects me more because I'm a woman, like part of me just thinks, fuck that. I think culturally, people who are assigned female at birth, we are taught to play nice, play quiet, play small, and be compliant and don't take up too much attention. Whereas straight white dudes, they don't necessarily have that same level of cultural conditioning. And so they are much more willing to talk about their work and to sell. So being aware of these different like levels of pressure on top of us can be very, very, very clarifying. because then you're like, oh, if this is affecting me more than a man, yikes. I'm not going to participate in that. I am going to step up and start sharing my work with the world because it is needed in this world. And this is also like a really wonderful thing to remember, because we suffer from a deluge of stories being shared by straight white men, and businesses being owned by straight white men, and, you know, authors and teachers often being straight white men. And so there is a real lack of our stories being told, our wisdom, our experience being told. And I personally would rather learn from somebody who's not a straight white person, a straight white man specifically. I, wherever I can, want to learn from women and non-binary folk. I want to learn from Black, Indigenous, and people of colour. I want to learn from the disability community. I want to learn from the queer community. I want to learn from other people's voices than the one that's just been fed to us over and over for hundreds of years. So when we look at it through that angle, that might help you feel a little bit clearer on the kind of way you want to show up in the world.
I'm going to come in here.
Yes, my love.
Because this is one of my favorite things to talk about, as you know, and I love asking myself the question, what would a mediocre white man do right now? Right now, what would a mediocre white man do? And usually it's put a 0 on the end of the price and then tell everyone about it. So, you know, charge more, market a bit, you know, swagger. I don't know.
Swagger. Yes.
Swagger. What would a mediocre white man do? Honestly.
Yeah. And you put up this, where was the quote? I'm sure you put up a quote from me. No, not from me.
Yeah. No, I was experimenting and seeing if it would come up as me, because I wanted to just say, what would a mediocre white man do? But it came up as you, so I thought, better not.
No,
I took it away. Away.
Yeah, add in.
Again, speaking of not doing what a mediocre white man would do, probably would have gone, no, I did it, but it came up as you. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't even apologize. Like, you're welcome.
No. You're welcome. Anyway, yes, that's my guiding statement. My guiding question, what would a mediocre white man do right now?
And also, the question that you've been asking yourself personally for a year is main character energy. If I was the main character of my own life, what would I do?
Yeah. If I was the main character, if I was not a supporting role in my own life, what would I do now? Far out. Game changer. Foof.
Thank you, my love. You're the best. Okay, so when we look at Crystal, when we think about selling, when I really feel into the energy of it and see how it works, it's really about having crystal clear communication and saying, this is who I am. This is how I can help you. This is what you can expect from the process. This is how you know that I'm a good person and you can trust me. This is how much it costs. And with so much heart, turning up to find the people who need your work every single day. Selling is really about having crystal clear communication. Also, this was a really big one that I had to learn, and it is not pious to be poor. For me, it was like a big money block that I needed to sit with and work through, because at a certain point, my business started growing and bringing in more money and bringing in an abundance of money. And it was no longer just a matter of, making bare minimum. Like when I started my business, my whole goal was to have enough money to build a shed and live on my parents' farm in a shed. Now I think like that wasn't a great idea. One, because at that time I was energetically enmeshed with my family. And two, it was in a really hot tropical place, like a shed. I was going to fucking sweat my balls out. Like that wasn't going to work. But I had this like mindset of just creating just enough, and that would be, and then not doing anything more than that. But when I got to that point of being able to create abundance, I was like, what point is it if I'm still feeling the urge to help more, like to help and to turn up and do my work in the world? Why would I want to stop myself from receiving more of that abundance and stop myself from wanting to help more people? And I realized like I had this like value of that. It was like if I was, poor or, lower middle income, then that was an integrity somehow. And I remember a mentor at the time saying, it's not pious to be poor. It's serving nobody for you to play really small and just get your basic needs met. When I receive an overabundance of money, there's things that I can do with it, which is really beautiful. So the things that I can do with it, one, I can actually exist beyond like no self-care whatsoever. I can actually invest in myself. I can invest in my little family and making sure that my kids have like the educational opportunities and possibilities, creative explorations that they want to have. I get to create adventures and memories with them. And from that state of abundance as well, I can redirect some of those funds to really beautiful places that need it. So we have been able to donate over $170,000 in cash to nonprofit organizations. The majority of our work currently goes towards purchasing land for wildlife to try and mitigate against the climate crisis, and restoring those areas of land into biodiversity and protecting endangered wildlife and those kinds of things. And so I love that I've been able to create massive changes in the world. And we've done things that aren't cash as well. So my goals workbooks, we've been able to donate physical and digital copies to over 250,000 people through nonprofit organizations. So we have places like cancer centres in the UK. We have people in the slums in India. We have people in Australia who are recovering from being in a flood zone. We have juvenile detention centres in America who use my goals workbooks to help their clients to set goals, and with the most beautiful responses. We actually had a client write in who was an at-risk youth and had been given the workbooks, and because we've been doing the program for so many years, she had said that it was the first time that she'd actually been asked what she wanted in her life, and she realized that she wanted to be an art therapist and help other kids who were just like hers, who had grown up in homes that weren't stable or supportive, and to be able to help those people. And so, 5 years later, she was now helping those same kids that she used to be. And it just makes me well up, just the amount of miracles and goodness that we can spread into the world. During the Syrian refugee crisis, there was a movement called Carry the Future, and it was collecting old baby wearing things like baby Bjorns and wraps, and so many people in Australia wanted to donate, but it was prohibitive to get them over to Greece where they were needed, and it was to help people, refugees, to be able to keep their babies on them, to keep them safer during that transition time. And so being able to be in that state of abundance, I could just say, okay, how can I turn up? What's the best way for me to turn up? And so we became the Australian collection point for Carry the Future. We had about a cubic meter of baby wearing garments sent to us from all around Australia, and we were able to negotiate with a shipping company to get them moved over to Greece to Carry the Future as soon as we could. And that kind of stuff just makes my heart so happy. The ways that I've been able to use the blessings that have been given to me and redirected into some really important ways in the places that need it. And we also know statistically as well that women are statistically far more likely to donate money to nonprofit organizations, and not just donate money, but donate far more money than the straight white dudes of the world. So it's really important for people like us who are not the top tier of privilege to start receiving more abundance, because then we take it and we redirect it to the places that need it. You aren't serving anyone right now by playing it small and existing in a state of lack. When you can create overflow, you can more beautifully tend to yourself, your family, your community, and the global community as well. Let me just check in with comments. Lisa says, I love that main character energy. Oh, Jennifer says, my dog rescue got them. Yay! I hope the dogs got to set their goals, and that was really, that they had a lovely time, and that all their dreams came true. That thrills me. Okay. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk to you about, I'm going to have some water though. Stay hydrated, my friends. If you haven't had some hydration lately, have some hydration. So I want to share a true story of two healers. And so I've been blessed to learn from so many incredible humans. And I think specifically of two that have had a really big and beautiful impact. And there's one of them who charges really, really well and makes it super easy to book in. They're able to be completely devoted to their work and takes care of themselves in such a wonderful way that it's sustainable, that they're able to do it for a really long time. And so with that healer, I was able to learn from them every week or every fortnight or every month for 10 plus years. And they made such a massive and significant difference in my life. And we were able to do it for that long because of the way that they charged well and had good boundaries and took care of themselves so beautifully in that. I also have a darling healer friend that I have been blessed to learn from as well, and they also undercharge or don't charge at all. And they must make money in other ways. They're much harder to access because they're burnt out. And so I haven't been able to learn from that person in an intensive way, in the way that I had from the other. So I think especially when it comes to healers and people who want to serve the world, I think there's definitely a propensity to be on the side of the undercharger or not charging at all. But the ripple effects of doing that means that you don't actually get to help people in as potent or as sustainable a way. Also, the healer on the left, she actually was able to teach me how to charge well, how to look after myself while having a business, things that the other hadn't. And both are beautiful humans, and both their works were, deeply important. Their spirits are so deeply important in this world. I would have just loved to see how much more I could have learned from the other person, if they'd been able to work out how to charge well and take care of themselves in that process so that it was sustainable for them. I think the biggest thing for me is to remember that it's not about you, it's about the ones who need you. My darling friend, Amanda Rootsey, she's a Hay House author, and she is a very gifted mentor for teenagers, and she also teaches other people how to be youth mentors as well. And she has just the most darling spirit and heart and is so gentle. My kids met her once, and she just exists in so much love and gracefulness. And afterwards they said to me, Mum, we just love her so much. She could be our second mother. And that's like the quality of her spirit, and that's how nurturing she is to the other people around her, especially kids. And I remember one day we were talking, and she was sort of questioning whether she wanted to go for a bigger goal or not with how many people she wanted to reach. And I said to her, like, people need you. They need your spirit in the world, and especially like teenagers and kids. Like, you're such an incredible role model, and without you, they're suffering without you being in their lives. So the question is not like, do I want to reach out to more people? Hang on, let me give birth through a jumper, be birthed through a jumper. I'm getting cool. The question is not about you. The question is, do you like children suffering? And I'm like, because kids are suffering without you, babes. And I was so blunt about it, and we cackled, because what else can you do but cackle? But it's true. There's people out there who are suffering without your work. They're like, this is going to be crazy, guys, but did you know there's people who don't know who I am? Could you imagine? Like, prayers, sorrows, prayers. So my job is to find all those people who are suffering without me and help them find me and be like, hey, babes, I'm here at last. And like, oh, thank fuck, I've been waiting all my life for you. So when I think about whether I want to play small or not, or keep myself into a small container, I have to remember it's not about me. I have to stop thinking so much about myself. It's about the people who need me. You need to stop thinking so much about yourself and whether you're worthy enough for your work and to share and to sell and to clearly communicate about this incredible thing that you do and offer. And instead, you need to think about the people that are suffering without you and make it your mission to go out and find them. For me, there's this beautiful practice that I love doing, and I started doing it in 2008 at the very beginning of it was the night before my first e-course started, and it was the Creative Goddess e-course. That was my very first e-course in the olden days. And I'd already had like 130 people sign up, which was beyond my wildest dreams, considering I had like 150 people on my mailing list. It was crazy. And I'd already felt so blown away and so just, I can't believe this. And then as I was laying in bed and I was like tuning into my heart, I could feel all over the world there was still some people who hadn't said yes to the Creative Goddess course yet and who were meant to be in there. And I imagined in my heart, and I could feel that, like, when we could do this deeper work together, it was like our hearts lighting up and then connecting with each other. And then it sort of connected out across the world like this sort of web of light. So when I second guess, I think to myself, okay, how can I spread that light of mine out bigger and wider to find those other lights that need me? And I remember that night in that vision when I saw like the people who'd already signed up and whose hearts are already alight and were already connected. And then the other pinpricks that weren't ready to light were like just needed intention and love and energy sent their way. And I could see there was like about 20 that hadn't been connected yet. And so I just kept radiating like energy out from my heart in the hope that we could connect up and form this beautiful network of light together. And I can still just see the vision in my eyes so completely, even though this is 16 odd years ago. And when I woke up in the morning, there was 20 more people who'd signed up for the course. And it just felt so miraculous and holy and sacred. And it changed me. It changed the way that I thought about marketing and business, because I realized like this is really just about hearts connecting and me turning up to radiate out so that other people could see my light and find my light. So that I could do the work that I was born to do, and that I could, in whatever way, help them do the thing that they were meant to do as well.
And on that, just
Yes,
me breaking in again. Hello, I am awake, I promise. Just me breaking in again. And you don't know where that connection will take you, because I was one of those 20 who joined overnight. I'm willing to bet. Just saying. So making those connections, you know, is just that, putting that foot on the path and going, yes, universe, I'm here and I'm willing to go where you take me and things. And, you know, we have a beautiful friendship now. And I feel the same with the clients I work with. Like, so many of them have become dear friends of mine, and we connect and help each other, and they still work with me. You know, they still book in with me and pay me and, you know, all of that. But outside of that, you know, we message and we have conversations, and my life would be so much less full and bright and lovely if I didn't do that. So.
Well, this really made me cry because Tam, I met in person 10 years ago, and she sent an email to my email saying, hi, I'm going to be in Kuranda. Do you happen to be doing any like meetups or anything while I'm there? And I was like,
Speaking of audacity.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Great time. This person's visiting from Melbourne. I might as well do like a reader meetup and connect with people. And I had baby Beth. She was only a couple of months old, and she was so chubby and beautiful.
Such a pudding. My goodness. She was the cutest.
Oh my God. And I turned up and I sat across the table from Tam and I was like, oh, okay, I love you. I'm here now. Like, I just think like it's turning up a little bit late to the love story. You already knew that we had a love story.
I had actually emailed, like, I think the year before. I have favourite family in that part of the world, so I was going up to visit. So I emailed a year before, and I got a message from Leonie via Leonie's fictional VA saying, "Oh no, Leonie's a bit busy. Sorry, try again. Blah blah." So I tried again. I was like, "Yeah, sure.
You did.
I'll go up next year."
Try it again.
Not really in a stalkery way. I was like, totally fine if not. It's fine. I respect a no, all that. So, yeah, don't stalk people, but,
It does pay off. It does pay off. And then, like, I sat down from Tam and I just immediately just loved her and trusted her. And I handed my baby over to her. I didn't hand my baby over to everyone, just Tam, and my acupuncturist and doula turned up, Kelly, and then Kelly had Kelly had a best nap on top of her as well, and we've gone on to be like just we call each other CPF, close personal friends, because it's ridiculous. Right. And we've also like worked together for so many fucking projects over so many fucking years. And it's just, I feel like, I'd feel really sad if I didn't have you in my life. So thank you for hearing that heart call.
Yeah, full on.
When I was getting my autism assessment, the psychologist needed to talk to like the person that like knew me the most, and Tam was that person.
And it's so funny because halfway through the call dropped out, and I called them back. And like the reception team went, "Oh no, the person doesn't need anything more from you. It's fine." So I was like, okay.
Pretty obvious. So we've got the points we needed. We've collected the points.
Totally. Anyway.
Okay. Bless. So, thank you, Tam. That was beautiful. So you don't know who you're missing out on by not sharing about that network of light. And one of your dearest friends is ready to light up in that network. So please do it. Please share about your work. Do the work that needs to be done in this world. Another thing that I really have to remind myself on over and over again is the 6 inches between these ears, or maybe 5.5, because I've got kind of a thin face. I don't want to be shallow, but no, I don't have an enormous cranium. No. My husband has just the most massive head. To get like a motorbike helmet, like it needed to be special ordered. Like, good luck to his mum's vagina, okay? Where was I going with that? Okay, the 6 inches between your ears, or whatever distance is yours, is the stories that you tell yourself, the inner fears that you have. They can all work towards creating more success or holding you back from having more abundance, more success, more big, shining, bright light out there in the world. So whatever it is that you need to do in order to keep that mindset high and radiant and heading in the right direction is really important. Keeping that growth mindset of it's okay to make mistakes. And yes, it's hard to learn new things and put myself out of my comfort zone, but it is important work to do, and I can do this. For me, when it looks like what I need to do to keep my mindset clear, I know that I need to have really good hygiene around my work and create a good life outside of my business. I know that I need to have like Leonie sparkle time, like an artist date where I go to Pilates. That's not the fun part. The fun part is the Pilates is next door to a cafe and bookstore, and I have tea and I have cake to reward myself, and I read books, and it's just such a highlight of my week, and it empowers the rest of my week. I also know that in order for me to keep on the straight and narrow, I needed to have medication because I need my brain chemistry needs sertraline in order for it to work well, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Given my family history of mental health stuff, if all I have to do is take half a pill each day and not just be weeping in bed for 48 hours straight about Dr. Michael Mosley, like, oh, I love you so much, rest in peace. Funny story, guys. I ran out of medication about a month ago, and I was too busy to go back to the doctors. And I thought, you know what, I'll be fine, even though I was going through something personally that was very, very stressful. And I was like, I'm too busy to go get some medication. And a few weeks later, my husband was like, hey, heads up, have you done something different? Because your emotions are quite erratic. And I was like, really? Really? And I told him, and he was like, we're going to go back to the doctors tomorrow. I'll take you now. And that's when I knew, like, and that was what, during the whole Dr. Michael Mosley going missing, and I couldn't sleep because I was crying myself to sleep. And I feel so grateful for Dr. Michael Mosley's work, and crying so much over somebody I'd never met was an indication that my brain chemistry was not okay. So back on the medications I have got. So medications for me are an important part of the puzzle. Also just making sure that I stay regulated in my nervous system as a person with autism and ADHD. And also I know that doing the inner work of journaling and tapping, decluttering, doing things like, and also having a coach like a kinesiologist. So Kerry Rowett, hilariously, was also part of the Creative Goddess e-course. So Kerry Rowett is one of Australia's best kinesiologists, and really is such a gift to helping people with their mindset blocks and clearing energy stuff. And I get to talk to her later today. Thank God, thank it for it. But I know for me, as a neurodivergent person, doing kinesiology and positive psychology actually works better for me than cognitive behavioral therapy, because sometimes that stuff can make you like wind further into your story and like kind of whoa down. So as a neurodivergent person, there's no gold standard when it comes to therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is gold standard currently for neurotypical people, but for people who are neurospicy, we have to find the things that work for us to keep our mindset clear, to stay headed on the right path. Whatever I can do to get my brain working well is really important, so I can continue to turn up and share my work with the world. I remember, I think it was early last year, and yeah, I'll pull Tam up so you can see her face as I talk about this. So, oh, you're muted, my queen.
I just said, oh, lucky I wasn't picking my nose or something. That's great. Good.
Well,
yes, hello, still here. I'm here.
So Zeta, I actually met through Tam, and she was working. This is it's so inbred, but and so Tam loved Zeta, and Zeta loved Tam, and then I was like, oh, is it okay if I get Zeta to do some hours for me? And Tam was super gracious. She was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I think like a couple of years in, 2 or 3 years in, I was like, oh, I just want to see if I can take all of Zeta's hours. I'm so sorry, Tam. Oh, what a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I didn't have enough hours to give Zeets at that point. So, I kind of had to be like, sure, that's okay.
And then you started working with Zeta's roommate.
Zeta had a housemate who wanted to do VA work. So hired her, and her name was Keita. Their name was Keita, sorry.
Oh, yes.
And so, yep, that was great. That was so great.
So great. And anyway, I say like the background of this because me and Tam and Zeta are now like this like little trio of like hags together, like this sort of like triangle of besties. And so early last year, I think I was just, did you know where I was really struggling with my mindset, and you guys kind of had to do an intervention. What did it look like for you?
Oh yeah. Well, we just noticed that there was a bit of erratic stuff going on. I like that word because it's not terrible, but suddenly, you know, there'd be like these ideas and you'd come to us and go, I know, I'm going to do this. And normally when you have like a project or something you want to think about, it's like, hey, I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking it'll unroll like this. And, you know, do you have capacity and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, this became very, very like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm just, you know, there was none of the kind of consideration or, you know, any of the other stuff that people who have worked with you, you know that that's what you do, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, you always have a very strong direction, but there's always a bit of a, okay, you know, is everybody on board for this? Can we do this? Is that like, are the pieces in place? How is everyone feeling? And it was, so, you know, we kind of went, you know, oh, hello, yes. You can ask what I do. I'm a writing mentor and coach. So I teach people how to write their nonfiction book that they've been waiting to write for sometimes decades. Anyway, so, yeah, so basically Zeets and I went, you know, Leonie, things are feeling a little off. Do you maybe want to book in a session with Kerry? Or get some therapy or something? Do you want to like get some therapy? Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, that's so lovely. Thanks.
So
posh. Look at you putting banners up. Oh.
I know it. Well, the funny thing was, and I'll say as well, like, so Tam has like worked with me on and off for years for different projects. So she like edited all of the goals workbooks, and we won't talk about the calendar.
Yeah, no, don't talk about
still in therapy,
especially the diary. Don't mention the diary.
Yeah.
There's a reason that does not happen anymore.
The fact that we spent $500,000 in printing and the diary was printed without January 1st, like we just.
I was trying to tell the team.
I know.
Telling you, I still wake up in a cold sweat about that. Just going, the message isn't getting through.
Yeah, it was a different time. It was a challenging time.
It was a challenging time.
Tam was also like a coach for. Get You Done Club, and we ran that earlier in the year. And also she is a guest expert in the Academy, and yeah, we've worked together in lots of different ways. She's done copywriting and editing and all kinds of wonderful stuff for us, which I'm so grateful for. But the thing that you and Zeta said, you were like, oh, like, are you still seeing your therapist? And
oh yeah, that's right.
And
that's what we asked you.
Yeah, and I was like, well, no, because I ended up feeling like worse about myself. I was spiraling. And thankfully with Zeta, like the fact that we have a friend that's built in with a psychology degree, because she was like, oh, that's because cognitive behavioral therapy is gold standard for neurotypicals, but not neurospicy. It can cause further rumination. And I was like, oh. And I was like, the thing that's actually always worked for me is like kinesiology or intuitive healing, like Hiraboga. And she's like, great, just do that then. Do that. You get to choose your own gold standard. And so I went back to Kerry because Hiraboga's now retired. And And it's amazing because Kerry Robert was one of those people in the Creative Goddess e-course in 2008 as well. And her work continues to profoundly affect me. So the ways that we can share about our work and do our big work, it creates so many beautiful connections. I feel so blessed.
So good.
So good. Anyway, so that was all about 6 inches between your ears. And sometimes you like really get into a tizzle. Like I think what was happening for me internally last year was that I had like a whole bunch of stories running in my head about what I need to do in order to create more success. And I felt really energetically stuck in creating that. And so I was just kind of leapfrogging from one idea to the next, convinced that's what was going to save me. And what I really need to do instead was like the inner work of getting clear with my own mindset. So thank you for the story time. Another thing I like to talk about when it comes to selling from the heart is the brown paper envelope analogy. So if you got up on a stage with a brown paper envelope and you were like, it's $20, who wants it? Nobody? Okay. And you got off the stage, you'd be like, oh, this sucks. I'm not even worthy. Like, nobody wants my product. Like, I'm not meant to do this. I'm just so terrible and salesy. Whereas imagine if you got up on the stage instead, and instead of having a brown paper envelope that you cannot see into, you say, friends, I have something for you. Inside this clear plastic envelope, there is $100 note. And it's clear, so you can see right through. You can see the $100. And today I'm selling it for just $20, but I only have 200. I've already sold over 5,000 of these. Here are some people who have already bought the clear plastic envelope, and somebody gets up and is like, oh yeah, I bought it last week. It was a phenomenal. I used $100 to go towards my rent. It helped me massively. I'm so grateful. And the other person was like, I took my honey out for a lovely lunch at Yumcha, and we had 3 meals, and that's what chewed up the $100, because I don't know what happens at Yumcha, some kind of magic, but ends up you just buy a lot of plates and spend a lot of money. But anyway, I had a freaking great lunch and I'm so grateful. Like, I don't know. I didn't say why I'm here for Yumcha slander. I don't know. I fucking love Yumcha, guys. Anyway, so you like get people on stage and you share. They get to share about how the clear plastic envelope has changed their life and why they bought the offer. And then you're like, don't just take my word for it. I've also been featured on Oprah. I have also been on SBS. I don't know. Some more shit. So who wants to buy the envelope? And guess what? Most of the crowd is going to say yes, because you really clearly shared what's inside the envelope, what they get in it, the values, the benefits. You've given them social proof and how they can trust you. Of course, they're going to say yes to that. So are you sharing about your work in a brown paper envelope kind of way? Or are you getting up and talking really clearly, communicating the value and helping people understand that they can trust this and that it's a good investment of their time? Fabienne Fredrickson also shared this one with me one day, probably 12-ish years ago. And it was at that point where my academy was growing and I was stuck in this feeling. I was like, oh, I might just play it small though. It's probably better if I play it small. And she was like, Leonie, this is really like, you love creating brownies and you want to share, you wish with all your heart that that's what you could do all day long. And you have some friends over to the house and you're like, you know what, I'm in the mood for making brownies. And so you go into the kitchen and you start making brownies. And people, like your friends come in, they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, nothing. Go away. None of your business. And they're like, wow, rude. They go back out. And then You put the brownies on to cook. It smells incredible. People coming in like, what are you doing in here? It smells amazing. Nothing. I'm not being scammy. I'm not telling you about what I do. No, thank you. Out you go. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? The brownies are finished and you're like, oh, they smell amazing. So you cut yourself up a little slice and you sit in the corner on the floor in the kitchen and you eat it by yourself. And your friends come in like, oh my God, what's that? That's amazing. Nothing. I'm not salesy. I'm not going to tell you. This is just my little private thing. And they're like, oh, why are you not sharing your brownies? Why are you not clearly communicating your gifts with the world? Why are you not allowing people to get to experience the wonder that is your brownies? And why are you not giving yourself the gift of sharing them in a way that you can then do it sustainably for the rest of your life if that's what you want to do? Don't be a little goblin in the corner like Zeta, festily going through the rubbish to eat your brownies. Share about it with a big heart. We have to remember as well, when it comes to sales, that everybody's always tuned to WeFM. What is in it for me? So when we talk about our offers, we need to stop thinking about ourselves and start thinking about the words they use, the problems they're having, the things that they're waking up freaking out about, and talking about it in a way that's less about you and more about them. This is exactly what we were talking about before. You just need to harness some straight white man confidence and then go on to change the world for the better. You also need to market way more than you think you do. People need to see a sales message at least 7 times before they actually see it and read it and get it. So what you're doing currently, turn it up by 7, at least. The thing about copywriting is writing in a way that helps people buy. And that can be in emails, that can be in ads, that can be in newsletters, that can be in social media posts, that can be on your blackboard outside your shop. All the different ways that you use words in your business. Copywriting is learning how to do it in a way that gets people to take action and buy. And learning elements of copywriting, it really is a license to print money. Like, I've been able to create over $14 million in revenue. My profit margins are wildly crazy wonderful. And it's because I've invested in learning about copywriting, even though it was uncomfortable, even though it didn't come naturally to me, even though I had to learn something new. It made me expand. It built my skills, and it meant that I can now write in a way that gets people to take action, whether that's to help me when I've got a philanthropic project on. So fairly regularly, I have a 24-hour period where you can purchase something from me and I'll donate 100% of the revenue, not just the profits, but 100% of the revenue to a nonprofit organization. So a couple of weeks ago, I did that, and it was 24 hours, and everybody who signed up in that time, all that money went to a family escaping Gaza. So getting people to take action in those ways, getting people to take action so that they would come join this call, that's copywriting. Getting people to take action to make a decision about whether they want to join the academy or not. That is all copywriting. And there's some really wonderful things to learn about copywriting to help people to take action. Now, if you want more of this delicious unicorn magic in your life, I really, really, really recommend my program Sales Star, which is my copywriting and sales page masterclass. And it is 4-week intensive. It gives you all the building blocks on creating your sales page so that it creates so much more income for you and really helps people see who you are and how you help them. And I also highly recommend that. So Sales Star, I usually sell by itself for $297 US. It's like worth so much more than that. I've had people take the program and be like, I learned so much more from this program than like a $2,000 program that I've taken elsewhere. So it's highly, highly nutritious. But just all the things that I create in my Brilliant Business Life Academy. And there's so much good stuff in there that you can use. You don't have to use it all. There's over 100 programs in there. There's templates and there's resources and there's courses and coaching and our virtual co-working space, which is a place where you can go to get all your work done. And it's just magic. It's just magic. Aisling Moore says, I love your heart and your message. I just joined your academy and I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I'm so thrilled to have you in there. Oh, bless you. Hearts light up. Hearts light up. Okay. Lisa says, wow, that explains so much. Thank you for sharing your experience with cognitive therapy. Yeah, I'm so grateful that Zeta told me that because yeah, it's really helpful. If you're in the academy as well, I have my autism and ADHD success workshop, and I do go into a section about therapies as well, including some of the therapies that can be useful for people. But it's really just a matter of trying it out and see what works for you. Heidi says, I needed to hear this today. I haven't been looking after myself lately, so my work has paid the price. Oh, bless you, my love. Bless you. Now, I wanted to, what I want to do is, I just want to go through with you, just to share with you everything that you get in the academy, because there's so much. And even when you're in the academy, sometimes you forget just how much is in there. And just think of it like Netflix. You don't have to be, don't have to use all the resources. You don't have to learn all of the things in order to get value. Even if you just use one workshop, you got value. So if you go to leoniedawson.com/academy, you can see this. There's a video there. Please watch it because I spent a lot of time on it. It was really freaking hilarious. And, okay, so in terms of exactly what you get in the academy, like the academy is really revolutionary. Like there's not many people that do this, if any, but you get all of my programs. So you get the Sales Star Masterclass, which is really a business building block. I really recommend everybody takes this program. It is going to make such a big difference, but only take it if you want to earn more money. If you don't want to earn more money from your business, don't bother. There's also 40 days to create and sell your e-course. Money manifesting in multiple streams of income, and that's for you if you want to really get a handle on your finances and save more money, make more money, create more streams of income, all that kind of stuff. 40 days to a finished book. Marketing without social media, that one is actually one of our most popular because a lot of people would like to get off social media. And I spent 2 years off social media and earned over $2 million during that time. There is literally hundreds, if not thousands of ways to market your business without social media. And often they are more effective. Work Less, Earn More workshop. Get Organized, which is a 21-day decluttering and organizing challenge for your life and business. Midas Touch, which is probably the hippiest of my offerings currently, and it is a meditation experience. And this is really going to help you if your mindset's not in fine form at the moment. So many people just deeply personally touched by that one. And I know my assistants, when they were editing it, were in tears often at how much it affected them. So that's always beautiful. Then you get How to Hire and Manage a VA, Burnout, How to Heal It and How to Prevent It, How to Deal with Trolls and Criticism in your business, How to Decide what business to do, How to Find the Perfect Accountant for you and your business, Behind the Scenes of a Multimillionaire's Finances, and I take you into my net worth, my current income streams, what I invest in, my retirement plan, how I track my income goals, and so much more. My ADHD and autism workshop, that's a brand new one that I just brought out. Monthly group coaching calls with me. I also have a 24/7 virtual co-working room. Now, if you haven't already joined, so if you've joined the Academy and you haven't joined the virtual co-working space yet, if you go to this URL, and I will just host it. Just for the very first time when you join, you need to have me hosting. And then you can use it 24/7 after that, which is awesome. Then you also get my complete library of popular workbooks, my Brilliant Year Business Workbook, my Brilliant Year Life Workbook. We've also got the Goal Getter Daily To-Do List Planner, Weekly Planner, the erotic romance novella that I wrote in pandemic because some people made sourdough. I wrote sexy romance. The Calm Christmas Planner, which was so fun to make. Then we also have every single month a brand new workshop. So these are the ones that have currently that have been released. Set up your website that sells, decide your pricing and set up payments, how to decide what business to do, master tech for business success, create a lead magnet, create a newsletter, 2-page marketing plan to turbocharge your business growth, sane and profitable social media marketing, planning your 2024 business success, how to create digital art, how to create incredible customer service, money management for your business, how to grow your business with launches, how to start and grow a membership program, how to win awards, how to grow your business with testimonials, how to grow your business with networking, graphic design for your business, how to grow your business with affiliates, how to create business systems, and an annual business review. So we will also be announcing shortly the 2025 workshops that will come out. And if you have any more things that you want me to cover, please email in and tell us, because we'll put that into our list and see what new workshops we can deliver for you next year as well. Then as well, you get essential business trackers, planners, spreadsheets, and a new one gets released every single month. So yearly business growth tracker, monthly financials and growth tracker, annual marketing calendar, launch results tracker, financial goals tracker, weekly content planner, monthly business goals plan, weekly business planner, lead magnet and webinar success tracker, affiliate link tracker, content library planner, 52 newsletter content ideas, customer service email templates, flash sale email templates, launch success checklist, morning routine template, 52 live stream content ideas. And next month we get email templates to get testimonials, then 100 social media content ideas, new customer email templates, affiliate onboarding email templates, daily essential business task template, and standard operating procedure templates as well. There's a reason why over 90% of our members renew. It's because they just get so much fucking value. They're like, I get like everything I need out of this one very low cost membership. We also have guest expert workshops every month. I won't read them out because there's just so many of them, but so many incredible teachers have already shared their wisdom in their in their field of expertise, and they're just wonderful. Oh, look at this beautiful human. Oh, look at her. Oh, she's so hot. So yeah, it's a lot, but wait, there's more. No, that's it. We've just got new ones coming out every single month. Also, a new thing that we do in the Academy when you sign up is you get sent out a 2-minute questionnaire, and with the areas in your life or business that you're needing change with, and then we give you a personalized recommendation list of where to start in the Academy as well. So pretty fucking stoked with that, truth be told. Pretty fucking stoked. We will be releasing it to all existing members as well. Camby says, Leonie, your content and positive energy inspires me. You have an insane amount of content. I do. Thank you. I just love creating. That's like my absolute joy, and I love making stuff. If I had to just create one signature program and then market that for the rest of my life, I'd die of fucking boredom. So my preference is always just to be creating and making more stuff. Paula says, I've gone through so many of the courses over the past year and a bit. Each one was easily worth more than the annual membership fee. Oh, my love, thank you so much. It's such a blessing to hear that. I'm so grateful you shared that. Lisa says, I'm currently working through SalesStar. I loved this morning. Oh, that makes me so, so happy. If you've got any questions at all that you need answered, just email support@leoniedawson.com and we will get into that. Diane says, I joined recently. I haven't stopped learning. My heart is filled with gratitude to you. Oh, bless you. Simone says, I joined 6 months ago, but I haven't connected yet. Oops, I didn't know about the co-working space. Must find that. Okay, my love, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to leoniedawson.com/login right now. And I just want you to log in. I just want you to log in to the Kajabi platform. And if just a little thing, just log it in and then bookmark it so you know how to find it. And then I want you to go to your calendar and I want you to book in 30 minutes of learning time each week. Just 30 minutes. And that's your academy time. Have your little link in there so you just know that's where to go. I want to give you so much. I want to give you so much. It's like when you take the horse. Like I grew up on a cattle farm. When like you take your horse to the river and they're like, no, I don't want to fucking drink. And you're like, are you kidding me? It is hot as hell. I took you to this nice river to have a drink. And they're like, So I want to give you the river, babes. Just need to log in, please. Please, 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 please. I love you so much. If you have any issues at all with logging in, support@leoniedawson.com and the lovely Lydia or Mimi will be able to help. We're here to help you and we want you to get the most out of the academy. Are all of the courses up to date as far as best practices, tech, etc.? Yes, because I also will update them when new stuff comes out. Hooray! Hooray! Okay. Are all these helpful tools no matter where? Are all these helpful tools no matter where you live? I've been back and forth so many times on joining or not. I feel like I'm addicted to learning, but don't know how to get out of my own way and apply them. Ooh. Okay, so first and foremost, we have people from all around the world. So with America, Europe, England, Australia, and throughout, I think we've sold to over 150 countries now, I think, which is amazing. So I'm very conscious that it's a global audience. And so I try and make sure that we help people wherever they are on that front. Now, in terms of getting out of that learning but not doing thing, this is a really important one. And that's what I try and teach the academy. And whether you invest in the academy or not, it's totally up to you. But with each piece of thing that you invest in, you want to not just learn, but implement. So one of the things that I talk about in the academy regularly is the 3 types of learners. So often we have Eleanor the enthusiastic, and that's somebody who just buys all the courses and then doesn't open them. Then we have Ruby the reader, who will buy the course and read through it, but not implement any of the things in it. And then the last type of learner is Ingrid the implementer. And that's somebody who not just invests in the course, not just reads and takes the course, but actually implements what they're learning into their business and testing and seeing if it works for them. And so Ingrid the implementer is always what we want to model. It's always where we want to head to. And it doesn't mean that we have to be perfect about it, but getting into that place of actually implementing what we're learning and testing and trying and see if it works for us is really, really important. Is the copywriting course included? Yes, absolutely. SalesStar is included in the academy, 100%, 100%. Okay. Catherine says, sounds awesome as usual. I spent the last 18 months taking care of my mother. Have to see about finding the annual amount. Thank you for today. Thank you for being you. And thank you for doing this big act of looking after your mama as well. Like, caretaking is so incredibly important and worthy, and you deserve all the abundance in the world for undertaking that huge task. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Okay, Simone says, that's a great idea. 30 minutes each day, each Monday morning seems totally doable. Yes, of course. Whatever we can do to implement that into our lives is really, really useful. For me, one thing that I do is I always wait to have lunch at my desk. So I like take lunch to work with me. And then while I'm eating, I study a course while I'm eating. And it even is just like for 10 minutes. But then often I get into it and I'll do a bit more. But it's just like, it's habit stacking. I know when I eat, I take a course. And but also having that sectioned out in your calendar is really, really important as well. Okay. Rachel says, have you worked with an accountability partner, Michelle? You'll find the most amazing people to support you in Leonie's community. Yeah, it's true. We do have beautiful, beautiful things. And Tam, I'll pull you up again.
Yeah,
you can
hi.
speak to this because you've been in my community for so long. And
yeah,
did you want to share about like some of the people that you've met in my community?
absolutely. So I have an accountability partner and someone I call my business bestie. We have been connecting since, I think we first connected in Goddess Circle, which Leonie ran in like 2011. And we still connect every single day. We do, like, we call it intervals. That's not our word really, but we just say what we're going to do. Then we set a timer, go do it, check in. We've started having goals calls, monthly goals calls, using like Leonie's monthly goals planner from the Academy. So we're both in the Academy now. And that has just been so beautiful. And we're both at the time were editors and copywriters. So we would take on bigger projects and do them together. So it has been really lovely on like a personal level as well as a business level. And, because I'm a wordy person and write as well as teach, I met one of my favorite accountability writing buddies through the Goddess Circle too. She lives in Bulgaria. I must say my bestie is in New Zealand. So, there's just people all over the world who will be your accountability buddies and besties. And, I just know that I can message these wonderful, wonderful friends whenever I have something going on, creatively or in business, and they will just, they'll talk me down from the ledge, or they'll, help me sort my head out. It's been the biggest blessing. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friends. This has gone a little bit longer than I usually do, but I think it's just because it's a really big topic, and had to have a stop for a little cry as well, because feeling from the heart means that you get really big, beautiful miracles happen in your life.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there too. Someone wants to know where you got your Rainbow Bright sweatshirt. Thank you.
Oh,
we're asking the important questions. Asking the important questions here.
The very important questions. I got it from Redbubble, I think. I'm pretty sure. I reckon that's a Redbubble shirt. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I freaking love Rainbow Bright. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure that you jump into the Academy so that we can surprise and delight and just help you do all of the big, beautiful things in the world. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you, Tam, for waking up at buttfuck o'clock to be here with me. And I'm so grateful for you all. I'm just the luckiest human to get to do this work and to get to love on you all and share what I know and how I can help. All right, my queens, I'll either see you in the academy or I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hooray! Hooray!